Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
I'm going to hit you up with a four-letter word. It's one that many of us don't like, and I'm allowed to say it here. So here's the four-letter word. It is diet. Just when you hear that word right away, it's a negative thing. Actually, part of the word contains the word die. Not fun for many of us. Is there a way that we can stay healthy and not be on a diet? We're going to dig deep into that. She is a hypnotherapist, a life coach, and she's back with us and helps people with that all the time. Sabrina Perez on the program. Sabrina, welcome. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you. How are you?
I'm well. And I'm
Awesome.
very much interested to see how we can go on a dietless life because it's on my radar. It's getting warmer out. Spring just kicked in. We know we should be eating better, but a lot of us don't do it for many, many different reasons. What are some of those reasons?
Yeah, a lot of those reasons have a lot to do with how we think about food, how we think about our body, our relationship to food and our body. And oftentimes it's not about what you're eating, it's about what's eating you inside. It has
Hmm.
so much more to do with how do you feel about yourself? How do you feel about your own body?
Hmm. It was said, and I think it was Socrates. I'm trying to remember who said that food is medicine.
Mm-hmm.
And when you
Yeah.
think of it that way, you realize how important that food is. And we take it for
Mhm.
granted. I'm just going to eat something. My body will take care of it. Maybe it's not the best
Mhm.
thing. It'll make
Mhm.
up for it. Really not the case, though, right?
No. Yeah, for sure. And oftentimes when we're so focused on the food over really caring and loving our body, like what is our relationship with our body? Are we unkind to our body when we look in the mirror? How many of us look in the mirror and go, oh, gosh, I wish I had this, I wish I had that body. And so there becomes you lack contentment with what you have, and that ends up working against you too, because you don't have a relationship with your body that is kind and caring.
Hmm.
Hmm.
And we say that we have relationships with everything. We have a
Yeah.
relationship with money. We have
Hmm.
relationships with people. It can be a
Hmm.
relationship with food as well.
Hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So it's oftentimes so much about our environment, how we were raised, what's familiar to us. What was it like as a kid? For me, I watched my mom dieting as a child. So dieting to me was something that you just did. I was in high school, thin rail in high school, but I needed to diet because I was dissatisfied with my body because that's what I saw. Dissatisfaction with your body. So I think it happens at a subconscious level in your thinking. It's what you see, it's what you become accustomed to or programmed to.
Hmm.
And, a lot of that also boils down to self-esteem, confidence.
Yeah.
And, we are in a culture of dieting too. Diets are sold to us all the time. And that's what's going to make you happy. That's what's going to make you confident. Go on this diet. You're going to feel so much better about yourself. You're going to get what you want if you go on this diet. How many of us have bought into that, have done it, gotten to the results even, and so thrilled about it? And yet, how did I get back here again? I'm all of a sudden back to that size I didn't want to be. And I couldn't sustain it. I couldn't keep it. It's because it's it's not being kind to your body. It's actually depriving you and punishing you. And that doesn't last.
And also life gets in the way because you could
Hmm.
have lost a lot of weight and you're feeling great.
Hmm.
Something in life changes. You go on a different path. Your relationship changes with food.
Hmm.
So-
Hmm.
and then you derail a little bit. And it's interesting how easy we are to allow ourselves to let if you're going down the road and here's, eating well, exercising, and then all of a sudden you turn the car a little bit. Now it veered a little bit, and then it goes a little bit more, then it goes a little bit more to the point where you started here. Now you got over here, but it was just slowly getting over there.
Hmm. Hmm.
Many, many different reasons.
Yes.
Psychologically, when life happens,
Hmm.
our relationship with food changes.
Yeah,
What is it? Obviously, part of that is comfort.
sure. Absolutely.
Part of that is
Emotional eating.
right
Hmm.
reward. Like, you know what?
Hmm.
I work hard. What? That's not gonna be a problem for me. I'll just have a little bit of that, and then yeah, the next
Yeah.
night, then 2 nights later, you're doing the same exact thing. Um,
Hmm.
how do you break those patterns? Because aren't they their habits? You just once you get
They
into it, you
are.
start doing it.
Yeah. And it can be so frustrating because it's just like, why am I doing this? And, those patterns that we have are beliefs that we've formed very young in our life. One pattern, I'll give you an example for myself, was trying to break the sugar addiction. That is a strong addiction.
Mm,
And it's something that is often, what we go to for a new number of different reasons. But trying to get out of that pattern in my life was really hard. Out sheer willpower couldn't do it. Well, I was able to go back into my subconscious through hypnotherapy and find out, what is it? Why am I driven to sugar? And some fascinating scenes came up from my childhood.
mm,
One scene, my first scene, was I was sitting at the kitchen table with my grandmother, like 6 years old, and I'm eating a root beer float that she made. She made homemade root beer floats with ice cream, so yummy and tasty. But it was about the feeling that I had, and I felt so loved, and I felt so cared for and nurtured. And so just that feeling of love. And then the next scene was with my other grandmother. She was my fun grandma. And my siblings and I were all in the car, again, probably five or six. We're going to the candy store and we're laughing and joking. It's just always so much fun with her. And it was happiness and joy. And we were heading to the candy store. Third scene, I'm 12 years old and trick or treating. My dad would take us trick or treating. He'd take us in the car, let us out in the block in the neighborhood. We'd run to all the houses, come back with our bag of candy, get in the car, and he'd be like, "How much did you get? Good job, you guys did great." So it was support, feeling supported, feeling praised and accomplished. And so it's so interesting. Like, I associated those feelings to sugar. So when I was feeling like, just not loved or not, supported or down, sugar, that'll help me feel that way. And
mm.
so that's what I would go to. And once I was realized that, I was able to break it and be like, I don't need sugar for that. I have support around me. I can support myself even. I'm not a child, I'm an adult. I can give myself the love I need and give myself the support I need. I know where to find happiness and joy and a healthy place. So it's, yeah, very life changing for me when it came to that, uh, like, pull towards sugar.
I can completely relate to that. And I only recently learned that when you have a habit, there's always a reward.
Hmm. Yeah.
And what's the reward of the what you just said? So you have something that's sugary. The reward is that happy, comforted feeling.
Yeah.
And I remember my parents got divorced when I was very young. And when my dad would come to see my sister and I, sometimes he would bring a chocolate shake. And it was back in the day, it was like a cup that had the stuff in it. You just add milk and you even shake it in this special cup. And
Hmm.
I still think of chocolate shakes. If you were to ask me, yeah, that's my comfort food. But what's interesting
Hmm.
is sometimes I'll maybe once a month, once every 2 months, whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna have chocolate shake. Let me do that. After I have it, it's like, I thought it was gonna be better. It's
Yeah,
never like
right?
that.
Why did
Oh,
I
good.
do that?
Yeah, it just, yeah, exactly. It doesn't, it's sometimes it tastes really good. Sometimes it's like, um, it just not some more times than not it doesn't hit the mark. You know, you have this
Doesn't.
expectation.
Mhm.
Yeah. And
Yep.
what it,
Yeah.
and what does that turn into? I just ingested 1,000 calories and 90 grams of sugar.
Hmm.
And that's all there is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for what? Yeah.
For what? Yeah.
Yeah.
How do
Yes.
you help somebody if they want to change their eating habits? Not go on a diet, but just change their eating habits.
Yeah. It starts with changing how you think, changing the way you think. And our mind is so powerful. So every thought we think makes a blueprint that our mind and our psyche have to make real. So say the things that we tell ourselves, like once I get started on eating that, I can't stop. I'm just the person who, you know, if I open the fridge, I'm going to eat, the things that I shouldn't be eating. And we tell ourselves those things, and our mind goes, okay, that's got to be true. So our subconscious mind starts making that true, proving that true. So really catching what we say to ourselves. And that's not something people think about very often. We're in our head so often. Thoughts are running through our mind constantly. What we have like 400 billion thoughts a second, and 2,000 of them we really only have a grasp of what they are, but we don't even remember all those 2,000 thoughts. But constantly our mind is running. So being able to pause and pay attention. Like there's a wonderful technique of just you've opened the pantry to look for something to eat. You don't quite, you kind of, it's something that you always do. And then you feel just like you did, like, ugh, why did I do that? Why did I eat that, drink that milkshake? Clap your hands, stop, and think, what am I thinking? What is going through my mind right now, causing me to do this? And take a pause. Take the moment to reflect. What am I thinking? Is a really great tool. Or what am I feeling right now that's driving me to eat this? That later I know that I don't feel good about, that I know wasn't the best thing for me. There's-
It's really more of awareness, what it sounds like.
It
Being
is.
present instead of the autopilot, because it's so easy to pick up your phone. Hey, I'm going to DoorDash. Done.
Yeah.
All right, here it comes.
Mm.
You don't even give any thought. It's too easy now. You don't even give thought to it. Back in the day, before DoorDash and things like that, you'd have to get in the
Mhm,
car. You'd have to
mhm,
drive there. So now you're a
mhm.
little more present, mindful of what you're doing. But now
Yeah.
it's just too easy. Didn't even give it a thought. Didn't even put a
No.
credit card number in. So now there's
Right.
no, monetary pain involved.
Yeah.
It
Hmm.
magically just showed up at my door.
Hmm. Hmm.
So that's
Yeah.
it. When you have that thought,
Yeah.
stop in your tracks and think about it.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
It's very helpful. And that's a tool that's easy to use, but once you are able to do it more and more, it gets easier and easier too,
Yeah.
right? And the program that I have is a 12-week program, and it's a group program. So it's really nice. We get to get together on weekly calls and discuss a lot of these things. And every week you get a hypnosis recording because our mind learns by repetition.
Mm.
So, you're giving yourself the right message. You're giving yourself what you want to hear, what you need to hear, what you need to be telling yourself. And I help the group pull out those things that they are telling themselves that aren't healthy, that aren't helping them get to the goal that they want in their life with their body. And so we pull out what it is that I do want. And they listen to a recording every week that helps wire that in to help make choices that are loving to their body.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah. You know what? You got there because of a habit. So
Mhm.
why not flip it around to a more positive habit? Uh, in terms of hypnotherapy, and that's what we're talking about, sessions like that,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah. Hmm.
Everybody's different. What does it typically take to change somebody's mind in the direction that they're heading in terms of food, their relationship with food?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it definitely becomes, you got to realize that I'm tired of this. This isn't working for me, the dieting, doing this again and again, or the punishing workouts to get to this goal, this desire that I have for the way that I think that my body should look, or the way that this person looks over here, and I think that's how I should be also. So really it's a self-love and a contentment within yourself, a confidence within who you are, and really having a relationship with yourself that is loving, that is caring, that is not punishing.
Hmm.
Mm.
Interesting spin on that.
Yes, it's a life-changing one that it works because it becomes who you are, not what you do, and diets are what you do.
But you bring to light when we go on a diet. I even hate saying that, but whatever. Um, it's like you're punishing yourself.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
with your mindset is we're just kind of reprogramming. You're rewarding yourself in a positive way in terms
Right.
of what you're eating, but you need to
Yes.
realize that. And again, you know, it's a habit. So you have to
Hmm.
continually work at it. But
Right.
for a habit, there needs to be some positive reward. We have to
Hmm.
look at the stuff that we're eating in a positive way, not that we're
Yeah.
being punished.
Right. Well, and it's a choice. It's instead of I can't have this, I'm choosing not to have this because,
Hmm.
I care about my body. I don't want to put that toxic, you know, see and pictures that we make in our head about it, seeing sugar differently,
Hmm.
not as just this one, yummy, yummy treat, but see it as toxin for my body. This is a toxic thing I'm putting into my body. So the pictures that we even make around it, you know, think about a vegan. They have very strong pictures. They
Yeah.
will not eat animal, and it is a strong force within them, a conviction within them, and they wouldn't go to someone's house or go to a party or go to an event and there's meat there and be tempted by it because the picture that they have in their mind about it is this is gross, this is horrible, I would never eat an animal. So it's the
Hmm.
pictures that we make in our mind that help us to um, take those steps and live that lifestyle that we're choosing. It's a choice.
I made that choice when I was a kid because my father always used to say this when it comes to salt. Like, why are you putting salt on stuff? You don't need to do that. It's already in there. And he pounded it in my head
Hmm.
um, to the point where I don't even reach. It's almost to me toxic. Yes, we need salt in
Hmm.
our diet, but it's in everything in
Hmm.
excess anyway. And
Yeah.
if I'm having dinner with somebody, group of people, and I see somebody take salt and go, in my mind, I'm like,
What are you doing?
what are you
Yeah.
doing? And I don't want to be preachy. It
Mm-hmm.
depends if it's like my best friend, if he's doing it, I
Sure.
might say to him, dude, you have high blood pressure. What are you doing?
You
You
know what
know,
that's doing to you.
right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Anybody else, it's like, that's your choice, do whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I have that view now
Yes.
that it is like, don't go there. That's not good for you. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I think if
Mm-hmm.
we can adopt that feeling or that thought,
Mm-hmm.
and I guess in my subconscious, that's where it was placed about salt way
Yeah.
back when I was a kid, where
Yeah.
a lot
Yeah.
of things are placed as
Yeah.
messages. Same thing,
Mm-hmm.
I mentioned the chocolate
Absolutely.
shake and you mentioned
Yeah.
the root beer float and
Sugar.
all sugar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What's the expectations in terms of the number of sessions if somebody wants to make a complete shift?
Mm-hmm.
I've often heard, for smoking, could be done in one. Some
Yeah.
people it can.
Absolutely. Yeah.
What do you think
Yeah.
on the diet or the food
Well,
side?
I think, certainly you could, have some hypnotherapy sessions, a few of those and work, one-on-one with me on that, and 1 to 3 sessions, you could see some real turnaround. The benefit to a group program is you're with others, it's a community. It's we're learning a lot. It's more than just having, an RTT session and digging deep into what's the root for these things, because we do that in these sessions, but we're also learning different food hacks, different tools that work, mindset rules. What type of eater are you? There's different types of eaters.
Hmm.
And 12 weeks of coming together, once a week and working through a workbook it becomes a lifestyle for you,
Yeah.
a real shift in a lifestyle, and something that you have so many tools that help you for the rest of your life
Well, the
to
great
live
thing
a
is
dietless life.
you have the tools. There are many great hypnotherapists out there, but
Mhm.
you're one of them, but also blend coaching. So
Mhm.
once the
Mhm.
hypnotherapy is done,
Yeah,
there is where it picks up on the coaching side,
yeah,
where you can work with somebody, you're available, somebody has questions about what they're eating,
yeah.
or maybe a weak moment, whatever it may be.
Right.
You're there to guide them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And then, it's amazing in group sessions too, what you can pull from the group, the people, other people, you learn from each other, and it's the things that others are going through, you can relate to, you
Mm.
can learn from too. The community aspect is so supportive and helpful too.
We don't realize it, but food is so important in our lives. It is, again, we
Mm-hmm.
just think it just automatically happens. We're just going to grab something to eat and your body will take care of it. But you could be beating on your body and not even realize what's going on there.
No, no, no. And sometimes there's bigger things going on too. Some people can diet and never lose a pound.
Yeah,
What can be happening is subconsciously their body's holding on to that weight
right.
because a belief that I need to be big to be safe, or I need to be bigger to. So some clients with scenes, I'm a little girl, or I'm in the bedroom. I have to go to bed. I'm the youngest one. I'm the little one. And I'm trying to get to the doorknob to get out of the bedroom to be able to go join everybody else who's still up. And I can't reach the doorknob. I got to be bigger. I got to be bigger. And that a belief forms, boom. And it just goes through the rest of your life. I've got to be big. Bigger's better for me. Bigger gets me what I want. Bigger gets me where I want to be. And so it's very,
Mhm.
very cool to have the hypnosis piece in there, because you're able to access where that began, that thought, and change it and
Yeah.
have a new thought about yourself.
Well, you just brought that one thought that for me was like an aha moment. People change the way they're eating, hoping to get a certain result. It's not happening. There may be a reason for it not
Exactly.
happening, and
Yes,
we'll never
exactly.
know until we go into the subconscious,
Yeah,
which done hypnotherapy, it's fantastic. There's never
yeah.
anything to worry about. Just, we
No,
didn't just get that out of the way that, your mind is being controlled. No, you're in
yeah,
full
no.
control. It,
Yes,
it's
full control.
basically, it's basically Sabrina is opening the file cabinet in your brain
Mm-hmm.
where now you can
Mm-hmm.
go through and find a certain file and say,
Mm-hmm.
oh, this one doesn't support me. I'm going to throw that file
Mm.
out. Or maybe I'm going to
Yep.
take it, put another one in there to replace
Yes.
that file. But
Yes.
you're just allowing the file cabinet to open. I got one right here. So
Yes. Yes.
it,
Yeah.
you're just that's how you're facilitating it. It's not like
Mm-hmm.
you're reaching into the file cabinet and making all the
Mm-mm.
changes. We're doing it
Nope. It's
ourselves.
so fascinating too,
Yeah.
how easy it is.
Oh
All of a
yeah.
sudden you have a memory and it's like, okay. And it
Yeah.
starts coming and just, wow, this
Oh,
really
that's
does
why.
connect.
That's the
Yeah.
connection. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Hmm.
I know your website is your name, right?
Yes. SabrinaPerez.com. Perez. And Sabrina, the traditional spelling,
Sure.
Sabrina.
Perez, Perez, right? And if anybody
Correct.
has any kind of questions, they can reach out to you. I know could be new territory for somebody,
Oh
right?
yeah. Yeah.
But it's been
It's
proven.
territory of freedom.
Yeah, yeah, and a dietless life, and everything we're talking about, we didn't just make it up. It's been proven years and
Yeah.
years and years, and it works.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
why
Mm.
would you want to? Why would you want to not be healthy? I don't know. I never get that. I don't understand. So,
Yeah. A lot of people want to, they don't know how to get there.
and then there's that. Yeah, Sabrina, great
Yeah.
talking with you today.
You too. Thank you, Steve.
I appreciate you. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.